Okay, this video is going to be about the oxygen sensors and replacing the oxygen sensor on a 2017 Honda Ridgeline. Okay, all of the oxygen sensors. So this I took and I have a code reader, but I took to O'Reilly and had a code. All the codes read that were on it, and you can see there was a P0776, which is a pressure control solenoid. B valve messed up, and P0430. Okay, and that is the catalyst system threshold bank 2 is not working right. So I thought the easiest thing to be is going to be to change the oxygen sensors. But before we get to that, the P0776, as most of you know, with these Ridgelines, you have to flush the or not flush, but replace the transmission fluid 3 times. And I actually found through Rock Auto, and this is a list of all the parts that I got for this. I don't know if you can see them here, and the boxes over here we're going to get to next. But I got all the parts from Rock Auto, okay, and I found, I didn't know this, but they have DW1 transmission fluid for the Honda. So I went ahead and bought that, about 10 bottles of it, and they were $5.58 a bottle, a quart of it. And the last time I purchased a Honda up here, it was $16 a bottle. So that is quite a savings. And the bottles say that they are used for Acura and Honda automobiles. Okay, and then there's the oxygen sensors. I got 2 oxygen sensors. Here they are right here. 2 oxygen sensors that are the same ones. Those are the Upstream, or the top ones. NTK is the company that makes the sensors for Honda, but Honda just repackages them. So NTK, and I did research on the web on this. NTK is the brand, and I got these at Rock Auto. So the 24372 was the Upstream, or the top ones, and the 24094 was the bottom one on the front system on bank 2, which I'll show you in a minute, and the 24475 is on the bank 1, the downstream, and that's the hardest one to replace this whole thing. And I've saw a lot of comments about nobody has shown a video on how to replace the downstream oxygen sensor. Well, this is the reason why, because it's a booger to get out of there. Okay, but I just got finished taking it out. It comes with the 3 clips already installed on it. The other ones don't have clips on them, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's get to it right now. So you can see right here, this is the, okay, before we start, so bank 1 is on the back by the firewall. This is in all the videos, and I believe cylinder 1 is back here, and that's why it's called bank 1. Cylinder 2 is in front, that's why it's called bank 2. And this is the Upstream oxygen sensor. With these oxygen sensors I bought, they all have orange cords, so it's easy to see. So this is the Upstream oxygen sensor on 2, and you can see that this is the clip right here. Where to go? There. That's the clip right there that you have to detach. Now all 4 of them have the same clip, so you have to be comfortable in detaching this clip. So right here, right there where my tool's touching, yep, where my tool's touching, there we can see it. Okay, it's a little metal piece of metal that's coming off of the block. Okay, so in this clip, you have to get comfortable taking these clips apart, because this is the clip. You push down this to get the 2 wires apart, but on the very back of it, it's got a clip that hooks on that little metal piece I just showed you, and on the bottom it's got something you got to push in to get it to release off that clip. So you have to get comfortable doing that, because every one of these clips has one of them. But the thing is about the 2 clips in the back, you can't see them, so you have to do it by feel. Okay, and while I'm here, you can see I've got the engine cover off, and I've got the cover off the front of it, and I've got the the blower off because I wanted to show you all this. But you see this little, there we go. See this little plastic thing that I'm touching? Okay. Right below this is the clip. Down, about 2 inches below this is a clip that goes to the downstream oxygen sensor, the one on the very bottom that is probably going to be the last one because these other three are easy. And then right next to it is the upstream. So the oxygen sensor is down here, and then the upstream clip is right here, but you've got to take it off, just like this clip that I showed you in the front, okay? That's the toughest part about this, is learning how to do that. And then the downstream clip is right here. The upstream clip is right next to it, okay? But you have to do this blind. Now, I replaced the upstream in the back, upstream 1 and upstream 2 and downstream 2 in probably about 3 hours, probably 2 hours, but I messed up on the downstream on bank 2. And when I took it out, I twisted it a little bit and it cross-threaded the sensor. So when I finally got the sensor out, I had to go to a machine shop and borrow a tool from a friend, which basically is really simple. It's just a rethreading tool that goes in for a spark plug. So I borrowed that, came up here and cleaned that out, put the sensor in, screwed it in. All these sensors come from NTK with grease already on them, with no C's compound. So you just take the cover off of them, the little plastic cover, this little plastic cover right here, take this off of them and screw them in, and you're done. So anyway, that's the way. There's the upstream bank 2 here, and the upstream bank 1 is back here. To get to, do those two first probably. Then you get underneath the car. You can see I've got it up on jack stands. This is the downstream sensor for bank 2. This was the easy one to get to, okay? Right in here, you can see where it's got the clip. This is the only one that's got the orange on it, I think. So now to the hard part that everybody wants to see. Getting off the downstream bank 1, which is way up underneath there. The nice thing about Hondas is the catalytic converter is on the side of the engine, on each side on the V6. So you don't have to worry about the catalytic converter being cut off. I mean, I guess there's another one back here in the back, but it doesn't have the sensors on it. Anyway, you can see up there where the orange cord's going. Let's get the light. You can see where the orange cord's going to it. And I've got the little, again from Rock Auto, I bought the little wrench to take it out. And I've got a swivel on it. I've got a 10-inch. I've got a swivel up there on the actual socket piece. And then I've got a 10-inch extension on it. And to take it off, at first I tried it with a 3/4 inch, step down to 3/8 inch ratchet and tried to do it, and I couldn't loosen it. There was no way. And I also thought that it'd be nice if I can get this off so I can get my hands up there, but you can't get this off because there's a nut down here, and there's one up here, which is not facing you, so it's impossible to get that out. So anyway, I tried it with this, and with a ratchet, a 3/4 inch ratchet, stepped down 3/8 inch. This is the 3/8 inch, right? And tried to knock it loose and could not knock it loose. And so I just gave up, and I was like, I've got to take this into a shop and get it fixed. And the guy at the shop put it up on the stand and looked at it, and he's like, there's no way I'm going to do this. So anyway, I brought it back home and I thought about it. And finally I figured out that, hey, let me just use the impact driver, my Ryobi impact driver, put it on there, and all it took was about 2 little bumps, and that was loose. The hard thing is to get these things loose, but 2 bumps and it was loose. And then the next thing I had to worry about was taking the clips out, the 3 clips that were on it. They're in little metal pieces, just like well, they're not the same clips, but anyway, let me pull this out of the way. So you can see this bottom clip here, if I can get my light right. You can see Sorry, let's see. You can see that bottom clip right there, okay? There's two more of those, and they're very difficult to get to, but that one's easy. You can use a needle nose pliers to loosen up the back of the clip, and then just push the clip out, okay? So that's no problem. The one behind the engine's the hardest one to work on, but if you just keep on trying, there's a way to get it out. And then there's another one up here that from the bottom, I got it from the bottom, but the way it's situated, the clip is sideways, so that you can take one of these clip removal tools. That was one of the things I skipped. I'll mention in a minute. But I got I got some clip removal tools at Harbor Freight. There was a set of 6. There was 3 long ones and 3 short ones for like $22, which was a steal. The reason there's 3 is because they're for different size clips. So they've got little spreads between the forks of small, medium, and large. Anyway, from down here on the bottom, I took one of the long handle ones, and I took it and stuck it up through there, and I pushed the bottom of the clip, and the clip just popped out of the hole. So got to that. So then I went back up to the top and got the very top one loose finally. It took quite a while, but perseverance, right? So got it taken off, and then I had a piece of twine up there at the very top of the motor around the windshield wipers, and I tied it onto the old one at the very clip, and then pulled it down. So I had a string coming all the way down with the old wire, the old clip, and wires attached to it, right? So then I tied off the string down here, and when I got the sensor out, and all I had to do was turn the cord, and the sensor just kind of unscrewed itself. So that was the simple part. I was amazed. But then getting the new sensor back in. So I pulled the old sensor out, pulled the wires all the way down. The string came with it. I took the string off and tied it off to something else down here, and then took the old sensor out, but just by twisting the wires, okay, the cable. And then I took and put the new sensor in, and that was pretty difficult to get that to start threading. And by the way, my hands, I wear a size large glove, okay? So I wouldn't recommend doing this if you got extra large hands, because the space is just too tight down here. But anyway, I got it started finally, and I used spinning the cable, or spinning the wires again. That's the way I got it put in, and I kept jiggling it a little bit, and it went in all the way. Then I put my ratchet back in there and tightened it up by hand with a ratchet. I'm sorry, I put my socket back up there, tightened it up by hand, then tightened it up with a ratchet as far as it would go. And then I put my impact driver on there and gave it 2 little bumps, and it was tight as can be. So yeah, so I went back and put a piece of blue tape over the connection on the wire so nothing fell in it when I was pulling it back up through there. I tied the string back to the clip on the end of the orange wire, and got back up on top, pulled it on through, hooked it back up to the connection it needed, and then I started putting the snaps in, and the snaps just went in pretty simple. This bottom one, I could do it by hand. The top one, I could do it by hand. Of course, I couldn't see it. But then the middle one, I had to take one of those the long clip remover, and I just took my time and put it around right to where it would be, and just pushed it, and the clip went right in. So I'm all finished with it now. I'm surprised how simple it went all back in when it was such a booger to get it taken off there. But anyway, I wish you lots of success in doing it. It's a nice challenge to actually see that you can do this. So here's a video for you finally, and maybe I'll do a video on cleaning out that solenoid B the next time, okay? Thank you. Bye.